Sūrat Al-Maārij is the 70th surah of the Quran with 44 ayat. The surah takes its name from the word dhil Al-Maarij in third ayah. The word appears twice in the Quran. Abdullah Yusuf Ali, an Indian Islamic scholar, introduces the surah as this is another Islamic eschatology surah closely connected in subject matter with the last one. Patience and the mystery of time will show the ways that climb the heaven. Sin and goodness must each eventually come to its own. Probable date of revelation. Regarding the period of revelation of this surah, first one notes that this surah is Meccan. This defines the period of revelation of this surah before 622 AD, the year of Hijrah. In his translation of the Quran, one of the most widely known and used in the English-speaking world, Abdullah Yusuf Ali says chronologically it belongs to the late early Middle Meccan period, possibly soon after Surah 69. Sayyid Abul Ala Mawjudi in his tafsir work Tafhim al-Quran writes, the subject matter bears evidence that this surah too was sent down in conditions closely resembling those under which Surah al-Haqqah was sent down, and records a tradition by Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal when Umar ibn Khattab told that he heard Muhammad reciting Surah al-Haqqah Masjid al-Haram. Umar ibn Khattab accepted Islam in 616 AD, so the Surah Al-Maarij thus appears to reveal before 616 AD. Isra Ahmed, a Pakistani Islamic theologian, philosopher, and one of the noted Islamic scholars, also holds the opinion that this surah was revealed in the 5th or 6th year of revelation and cites Faith al-Din al-Razi and Abdul Qadir Gilani in reference. Theodore Noldaki places this chapter immediately after chapters LVI and LIII, probably because of the allusion of the first verse of this chapter to the beginning of chapter LVI. Muir places it in about the same period of time, which would fix the date at about the 5th year of the call of Muhammad to preach. Asbab al-Nuzul, an Arabic term meaning occasions, circumstances of revelation, is a secondary genre of Quranic exegesis directed at establishing the context in which specific verses of the Quran were revealed. Though of some use in reconstructing the Quran's historicity, asbab is by nature an exegetical rather than a historiographical genre, and as such usually associates the verses it explicates with general situations rather than specific events. Nasa'i and other traditionists have related a tradition from Ibn Abbas and Hakim hold it as authentic, that Nadr bin al-Harith Kalada had said, O God, if it is really the truth sent dawn by you, then rain down stones on us from the heavens, or send down any other painful torment on us. The person here meant is generally supposed to have been al-Nadr ibn al-Harith, who said, O God, if what Muhammad preaches be the truth from thee, rain down upon us a shower of stones, or send some dreadful judgment to punish us. Others, however, think it was Abu Jahl who challenged Muhammad to cause a fragment of heaven to fall on them. Sail Baidawi, Abdul Qadir Gilani, an influential Islamic Sufi religious figure, teacher, preacher and writer, however, holds the opinion that the demand for torment referred in the first ayah of this surah was made by Prophet Muhammad himself for the disbelievers due to the increasing persecution of Muslims by the Meccans. And for example Isra Ahmed cites the demand of torment by Prophet Nuh against his people in the next surah, which is also the pair of Surah Al-Maarij. For references, Dr. Isra Ahmed cites the works of Faith al-Din al-Razi and Abdul Qadir Gilani. Theme and subject matter. Sayyid Qutb, an Egyptian author, educator and Islamic theorist, in his magnum opus, Faisal al-Quran, a 30-volume commentary on the Quran, summarizes the overview of Surah Al-Maarij in these words: "We may say that this surah represents a round in the long, hard battle the Quran fights within the human soul, going deep inside it to eradicate all lingering traces of jahiliyyah. This battle is greater and longer lasting than the wars the Muslims later had to fight against the many enemies." He further elaborates, "The major issue the surah focuses on is that of the hereafter and people's requital for what they did during their lives on earth, particularly the punishments suffered by the unbelievers. In order to establish the truth of the hereafter, the surah speaks of how the human soul reacts to situations of hardship and comfort. Such reactions differ greatly between a believer and one who is devoid of faith. The surah also provides an outline of the believer's main features, the feelings and behavior, and it states how they deserve to be honored. It also shows that the unbelievers are held in disregard by God, and gives a picture of the humiliation prepared for them. It is a humiliation the arrogant thoroughly deserve." Furthermore, the surah establishes the fact that values, standards and scales applied by God are different from those which human beings uphold. Sayyid Qutb, Faisal al-Quran. Javed Ahmad Ghamidi, a well-known Pakistani Muslim theologian, Quran scholar and exeget, and educationist, classifies Surah Al-Maarij as a pair with the last one with regard to the subject discussed in them. He also suggests that the primary audience of Surah Al-Maarij is leadership of the Quraysh. Regarding the central theme of the surah, Ghamidi summarizes, "The central theme of Surah Al-Maarij is to warn those among the Quraysh of the fate who are making fun of the consequences of denying the inzar of the Quran about the Day of Judgment and are asking to hasten their advent, and to urge the Prophet to persevere in the cause of truth and to tell the unbelievers that paradise is the reward of all good deeds. A person whose evil deeds outnumber his good ones, even if he is from the higher-ups of the society, shall never enter this everlasting kingdom." Ghamidi. The major scholars of Islam agree about the theme and subject matter of this surah. In fact, the study of Surah Al-Maarij stated by various scholars overlaps each other, just like the above-mentioned exegetes. Muhammad Farooq Azam Malik states his understanding of the major issues, divine laws and guidance in Surah Al-Maarij as the whole surah is meant to answer this question, saying, "Resurrection, which they desire to be hastened out of jest and fun, is terrible, and when it comes, it will cause great distress to the culprits. At that time they will even be prepared to give away their wives and children and the nearest kinfolks in ransom to escape the punishment, but they will not be able to escape it. On that day, the destinies of mankind will be decided strictly on the basis of the belief and their conduct. Those who turn away from the truth in this world, amass wealth and withhold it from the needy, will be doomed to hell, and those who fear the punishment of Allah, believe in the hereafter, establish salah, discharge the rights of the needy out of the wealth, strictly avoid immoral and wicked deeds, practice honesty in all their dealings, fulfill the pledges and trust and bear true witness, will have a place of honor in paradise." Muhammad Farooq Azam Malik. Contents. The Quranic text has been divided into separate rukus in terms of thematically related ayah. This surah contains 2 rukus. The contents of the first ruku states that the Day of Judgment will be equal to 50,000 years and disbelievers will wish to save themselves for the punishment at the expense of their children. wives, brothers and relatives, but it will not happen. Second ruku starts from ayah 36 and continues up till the end of the surah, and it states that the paradise is not for the disbelievers, and disbelievers will have downcast eyes and countenances distorted with shame. Another noticeable fact about this surah needs to be addressed: that passage 70 to 29 to 70 to 32 is completely identical to the passage Al-Mu'minun 23 to 5 to 23 to 8. About this presence of repetition, Michael Sells, citing the work of the critic Norman O. Brown, acknowledges Brown's observation that the seeming disorganization of Quranic literary expression, its scattered or fragmented mode of composition, in Sells' phrase, is in fact a literary device capable of delivering profound effects as if the intensity of the prophetic message were shattering the vehicle of human language in which it was being communicated. Sells also addresses the much-discussed repetitiveness of the Quran, seeing this too as a literary device. A text is self-referential when it speaks about itself and makes reference to itself. According to Stephen Wild, the Quran demonstrates this metatextuality by explaining, classifying, interpreting and justifying the words to be transmitted. Self-referentiality is evident in those passages when the Quran refers to itself as revelation, remembrance, news, criterion in a self-designating manner, or in the frequent appearance of the say tags when Muhammad is commanded to speak. According to Wild, the Quran is highly self-referential. The feature is more evident in early Meccan chapters. Abul al-Maudi was a journalist, theologian, Muslim revivalist leader and political philosopher, and a 20th-century Islamist thinker in India, and later Pakistan. He was also a political figure in Pakistan and was the first recipient of King Faisal International Award for his services in 1979. He summarizes the contents of the surah in these words: "It admonishes and gives warning to the disbelievers who made fun of the news about resurrection and the hereafter, and hell and heaven, and challenged the Holy Prophet to cause resurrection, with which he threatened them to take place if what he said was true and they had become worthy of the punishment in hell by denying it." The whole surah is meant to answer this denial. The surah opens with words to the effect: "A demander has demanded the torment which must befall the deniers, and when it takes place, there will be none to prevent it, but it will take place at its own appointed time. Allah has his own way of doing things, but he is not unjust. Therefore, have patience, O Prophet, at what they say. They think it is far off, but we see it as near at hand." Then it is said, resurrection, which they desire to be hastened out of jest and fun, is terrible, and when it comes, it will cause great distress to the culprits. At that time they will even be prepared to give away their wives and children and the nearest kinsfolk in ransom to escape the punishment, but they will not be able to escape it. Then the people have been warned to the effect, on that day the destinies of men will be decided strictly on the basis of the belief and their conduct. Those who turn away from the truth in the world and amass wealth and withhold it from the needy will be doomed to hell, and those who fear the punishment of God here, believe in the hereafter, keep up the prayer, discharge the rights of the needy out of the wealth, strictly avoid immoral and wicked deeds, practice honesty in all their dealings, fulfill the pledges and trust and bear true witness, will have a place of honor in paradise. In conclusion, the disbelievers of Makkah who rushed in upon the Holy Prophet from every side as soon as they saw him, in order to make fun of him, have been warned to the effect: if you do not believe, Allah will replace you by other people who will be better than you, and the Holy Prophet has been consoled, so as to say, do not take to heart the mockery and jesting, leave them to indulge in their idle talk and foolish conduct. If they are bent upon experiencing the disgrace and humiliation of the resurrection, they will themselves see their evil end.